Okay, so this is something a little new. I haven't ever done a Transformers toy unboxing before, so bear with me, this might be kind of awkward. Uh, I found this when I ran into Ollie's earlier today, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, which if you're not familiar with it, it's like what Big Lots used to be in the 80s before Big Lots decided to try to get all fancy. So but yeah, like I found this in there. It was the only one there was. I was kind of shocked to see it, but you can see for yourself. It was only $19.99 with a regular retail price of $49.99. So I definitely got it for a bargain. Uh, and it's Optimus Prime, and he comes with the trailer. And I'm looking at the back, and it's got all these neat features to it. This might be for my price point, this might be the definitive Optimus Prime figure. I'm not trying to build it up for myself too much, but I know a lot of people watching this might be like, well, what about the Masterpiece Edition? I ain't got like $500 to spend on a fucking Optimus Prime toy, okay? Pardon my French. This is not a show for kids. So, so yeah, let's go ahead and open them up. And hopefully this'll be cool for me. So, alright, so I got the X-Acto knife. I'm going to set that there. And see if I can get this open now. I always want to make it so complicated to open things these days. Oh, there's another thing there. Okay, there we go. I was hoping this would be the easiest side to open it from. Because, like, it was the flat side, not the angled side. Here's the instructions. Instruction. I don't need instructions. I can figure out how to transform this on my own. Thank you very much. I don't need your instructions. And there's the back of the inside of the package. Actually, I didn't think to look if there was anything interesting on here as far as like, nah, not really. No cross-sell and no storyline or anything like that. I already showed you the back of the box, which where you see all the cool features. I might as well show you this, where there's a nice piece of artwork of Optimus Prime. It is cool that he comes with what looks something like the original rifle that the original Optimus Prime figure came with, which I'm not used to seeing anymore. And, okay, so, what is this? Some kind of red thing? I don't know what this is. It's like a little red lens. Oh, I bet I know what this is. Where did I flippantly throw those instructions to? I think I know what it is. Okay. So here's this little sheet here. So I know it went somewhere around here. Uh-oh. There goes my X-Acto knife. It went right into my leg. You ever see Young Frankenstein? It didn't really. I'm just messing with you. Put that there for now. I don't want it to fall over again. So this little red thing, I bet, goes to a file card. Probably around here somewhere. That's what I get for being so arrogant. I bet the file card was inside the instructions. I'm sure I'll find it later. It's probably not that big a deal. For now, I'll tape the little red piece to the instructions so I don't lose it. Alright, so it looks like there's little plastic tabs. They're holding this in, and the only way to cut them is from the front because they're way deep in the packaging. And hopefully that should be able to get the toy out now. Ah, there we go. Alright. And over here is this gun, so we'll go ahead and get that out. And I think that's the last thing that I need to get out of here. Okay. Little plastic tabs, it's so annoying. Trying to keep me from getting my toy. And then you see that he's tied into his trailer with like these weird paper ropes. I hate those things too. I hate anything that keeps me from getting the toy out of the package. I just want to get the toy out of the package. I just want to open the box and slide out the tray. And once I slide out the tray, take the figure out. And that's the end of it. I don't have to be like, look at all the time I've spent in this video just cutting tabs and cutting plastic and cutting paper ropes. God damn. So annoying. Anyway, he's pretty cool looking. That's the end of the video, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll do more. We'll do more. Alright, so there's Optimus Prime himself, and he's kind of neat looking. He looks about like how they drew him on the cartoon. I think this is based on that Netflix show, which I watched some of, and I really enjoyed it, and I think they've made some new episodes since then, so I need to get back to it. And then there's the trailer, which actually has the diagnostic arm thing like the original toy had. So like a little like drone thing. I don't know if it's a sentient robot like the Transformers or if it's just a machine that they made. I don't remember. I always just used it as kind of like a machine that they made, like Ratchet would do whatever with it. Let me check something on the box here. Yeah, that's what I thought. If you look at it on the box, this arm is blue, like I remember the original toy being. But if you look at it in the obviously here, it's not blue; it's gray. So that's funny. And it looks like it folds up like that, and we can fold up the whole trailer. So transforming the trailer itself, much like the original toy, fairly easy. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that way we can see the toy a little better. So yeah. Now, it's not exactly like the most realistic trailer in the world because you've got like a lot of doodads on the back here. And I believe that you're supposed to be able to remove this piece to function as Optimus Prime's shield. Yeah. So he can use that like a shield. But I'm going to leave it in there for now. Maybe when I look at the figure a little bit more, I might put it in his hand. But I don't want to lose it, so for now I'm going to put it there. But yeah, that's his trailer. And that was one of the things I really liked about this when I saw it, is that he comes with a trailer, it opens up, it's got the diagnostic systems, like the old toy. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's got his old rifle. That's neat. And it's got like a little stand here, like how a real tractor-trailer truck has a little stand, so that way you can have the trailer stand on its own as a trailer. And that would also be good for when you have it where like he's lying down on it like a diagnostic bed. And you can also have it like it was in the package, how you saw, where it was all opened up and he's standing in it and is analyzing it that way. So yeah, like I always imagined like this would be like a piece of medical equipment. Well, diagnostic equipment. I don't know if it's technically medical because he's a robot, but like Ratchet would be using it. Ratchet's a medic, right? So I can say medical equipment. You know, I'm not going to be racist against robots. I'm not racist against real life people. Why would I be racist against robots? That's not fair. Anyway, so yeah, you can see the rifle itself. It looks a lot like the rifle that the original Optimus Prime toy came with, and that makes me happy. Because a lot of the times, like, even with like a classic style Optimus Prime figure, the rifles on him can look kind of generic. And, you know, it's like you don't have He-Man just come with like a generic sword. You have him come with the sword of power. And I kind of feel like it's the same of Optimus Prime. His rifle should be more sort of like distinct. So, and it looks like it folds up. I'm sure that there's a lot of interesting stuff in the instructions that I cavalierly threw to the side and I'm not paying any attention to. I'll go through those later. I usually like to go through those later. But the thing is, like, whenever I have a Transformers figure, I like the challenge of transforming it myself, trying to see if I can figure out how to get this into a robot or into a truck. Get the robot into the truck and vice versa. And there's more rubber bands on this guy. See, this is why your toy got marked down and put at Ollie's, is because people didn't want to deal with all these rubber bands. Stupid rubber bands. Get off them. You know, I'm just gonna... Alexander the Great and the Gordian knot. Smart guy. Stupid. Why is this even on here? All this was doing is like holding his arms down. I don't need you to hold his arms down. There's another one? There's another one. I thought it was one rubber band through there. Nope, they got two. They had one rubber band holding each arm down. Why do you need to hold his arms down anyway? Who designed this packaging? Megatron? Anyway, ooh. Ooh, he's all... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so... Very cool, very posable. You know, one of the things that kind of bummed me out with the original Optimus Prime as a kid is, as much as I liked that toy, is that he wasn't that posable. And he was more posable, actually, than most Transformers. Most Transformers, you turned him into a car, and then you turned him back into a robot, but they didn't really... You'd be lucky if he could move their arms. This guy is all kinds of posable. You can get him into, like, any sort of position you want to. He's like a G.I. Joe. He's like that kind of good posable. So, and, I don't know how well this is coming across on the video, but his eyes are like really cool. They're almost kind of like a metallic blue. You can see they got like a sheen to them. I was almost thinking there was light pipe, but there's not light pipe. It's just they're that shiny. All right, so let's see if I can figure out how to turn him into a truck without having to look at the instructions, because that's always to me the fun part. Where do I start? Alright, so these fold out, obviously, and that'll become like the front wheels of the truck. It's probably one of those deals where you have to spin them around. And this should go up like that. That looks suspiciously to me like it should be his gas tanks, so I bet that flips that way. Guess we'll find out. But no, they wouldn't do that, because we need these to be facing this way, obviously. So there we go. We click that together. This will be where the trailer mounts in. These arms should swing back, and then those should go forward. So somewhere in here, there's more stuff that should fold onto the front to make the front of the truck. Obviously, because if there's not, he's going to be one weird-looking truck. So let's see if we can figure this out. Does this chest open up? This is pretty complex. Maybe I should have looked in the instructions. Maybe I made a horrible mistake. I'm sure I can figure it out. So let's see. We got the head. This part obviously is supposed to open up somehow. Does it open up like that? Okay. Oh, hey, look at that. So there's, inside of here, we open up his whole chest, and all this stuff folds out. How cool is that? So yeah, there we go. So this will make the front of the truck. Now I just need to figure out how to get rid of his head, because obviously his head is supposed to fold up inside of here somehow. So you don't want to have Optimus Prime's head on the top of the truck, because if people saw him driving down the street with the head on the top of the truck, they would know that he's a robot. And he's not. You're not supposed to know he's a robot. He's a robot in disguise. So if you can tell that he's a robot, there's no point to the toy. It's just pointless. That's why I hate Transformers that don't transform. You know, like, I've seen a lot of them these days, too, where, like, they have, like, the retro action figures of the Transformers, and they're just action figures. And I'm like, it's Transformers. You don't transform into a truck. What's the point? And then I saw, like, the nano metal ones, where they're stuck in their vehicle mode, and it's like, I can't transform them into a robot. You guys know this thing's called the Transformers, right? It's not called the same exact thingers. They don't do anything. Exactly what meets the eye. No, that doesn't make any sense. So, alright. So, I think I've mostly got this figured out. The thing I'm trying to figure out is how do I get rid of his head? Now, I'm sure, like, Megatron is thinking the same thing. It's like, if I could just get rid of Optimus Prime's head. That head, that's what causes all the trouble. Okay, so this part, I got it figured out. So this part folds back. So now we can swing his head back. Voila! Flush on top. Close that up. We got this. I told you we could figure this out. We didn't need those instructions. Instructions are for the weak. I've been playing with Transformers for like God knows how long now, like the 80s, for like 40 years almost now. It's been at least, when did Transformers come out? Like 1983? Yeah, getting close to 40 years now. I'm an old man. I can figure this out. Okay, so there's a little panel here that opens up, and we can flip his hands around, and there's the headlights right there, which I think they probably could have made a brighter shade of silver, but whatever. This is great, because when I was a kid, again, one of the problems that I had with the original Optimus Prime is, like, the hands were, like, separate pieces that came out, and not only would those get lost, and that sucks, but I always felt like that was kind of cheating. It's like, I don't want to have a toy that, like, can't really transform. It's like, how am I supposed... Okay, so those aren't his headlights, because the headlights are on the front here. Forgot about that. I would have been disappointed if that was the headlights. I would have had to paint them or something. Alright, so this should, in theory, swing back this way. We almost got this figured out now. Okay, so if that's supposed to... This all opens up, so we can fold the whole thing down. We can stick this in here. Where? There, it clips in like that. This swings back. This should go all the way down, but it's not quite wanting to do that. Is his head in the way? Do I have his head turned around the wrong way? Sometimes you gotta have his head turned around the right way. And that's the only way it'll work. No. Okay, so... Okay. Sorry this isn't more exciting. It's just me trying to figure this out. You're probably used to me just being obnoxious and everything, but I'm too busy paying attention to the toy. I'm not paying enough attention to you, the viewer. I know that doesn't seem fair, but I bet if I swing this down, I'll have a little more room. And then I can probably... Maybe they're not supposed to go around that way. Okay, so let me think about this. Okay, so I'm betting there's a little notch here, so that should attach into this. But there's not enough room there because of... I bet that folds out. Ho ho, there we go. So, the sides of his body kind of... You see how I had to fold him in like that? Then, his arms will fit in here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I figured it out. I was smart enough. I figured it out without the instructions. I don't need no stupid instructions. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. Instructions are for little children who don't know how to figure out how to transform Optimus Prime into a truck, but I can do it. And then his feet kind of fold up like this, and you can see the tail lights. So it's not quite how traditionally you have Optimus Prime with his feet sticking off the back. They're still sticking off the back, but at least they kind of fold in so they're not as obviously feet. So if we fold up the trailer there, voila! That's what he looks like when he's turned into a truck. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's see if we can turn him back into a robot now. Because I didn't have him posed with the gun like I wanted to do. Never got around to that. And I bet that gun fits into the trailer or something like that, or you can probably hide it in the... I bet I figured that out too. Alright, so we can fold the gun up, and there's a little hole here like you would put in a backpack. And you can hide the gun back there. Huh, okay, cool. You can hide the gun back there when he's in the form of the truck. So there we go. So there's a place where you can store the gun when he's in the truck mode. And if you look at it, there's also little ports all around his body. Oops, I took the gun apart accidentally. So you can do that too. You can take the gun apart. But don't worry, it's supposed to do that. It just comes apart. So you could probably stick this thing like all over him, like when he's in truck mode, if you just want to like, or stick other weapons onto him probably. That's probably how this whole line is designed, and if I had any other figures in this, I would probably know this, but this is the first one of these that I've got. So, alright, let's transform him back into the robot mode now. You know, there's like 1,000 Transformers channels on YouTube where people actually know what they're doing, and you can watch them transform Transformers. But you chose to watch this video, so thank you. I appreciate that. That's thank you for being a loyal viewer and sticking with me through this. All right, so we're gonna transform him back into his robot mode, and got a little ahead of myself there. So we'll go ahead and switch that around. Fold out the sides of his body. Fold this back up. Switch his head back around, because now that he's a robot again, he can have a head. I'm no longer a robot in disguise. I'm just a robot that's a guy. Alright, and then the thing that I was so impressed with, how all this folds in upon itself. This is a brilliant bit of engineering. This might be my favorite Optimus Prime toy that I've ever had, just because of how that works. That's just so cool. Alright. So now we can... How did this work again? I want to have that sticking up. Okay, so I missed a part. I missed a part, but it's very complex. It's very complex. There we go. Okay, so now he's back into his robot mode. And now he looks exactly like the Optimus Prime figure that I had when I was a kid after he lost his hands. But I can't lose his hands, can I? Because they're actually part of the figure. They didn't cheat this time. Alright. Now, I think I mentioned this before, but if I didn't mention it, I'm going to mention it now. He actually has articulated fingers. This is a blessing and a curse, because you can get some more poses out of it that way, but also eventually this is going to get loose and he's not going to be able to hold the gun as well, and that's unfortunate. So at some point I might just glue this solid, just the right hand, maybe leave the left hand where like it can pose. In fact, it feels like it's a little loose in his grip right now, so he doesn't hold it quite as well as I would like because of the articulated fingers. So that's a little disappointing. There might be a way that I can... Maybe it's... Okay, so yeah, okay. So check this out. They thought about this. This is actually pretty smart. And I'll show you on this hand, since I've got the gun in this hand, is when you have the fingers open up all the way, you see that little bit of space between his thumb and his palm? How it's round? That's actually made to hold the gun. So it's not actually even the fingers that hold the gun, it's that little slot there. So what I thought would be a problem is actually not going to be a problem at all. They were smart enough to actually think about this and solve the problem before it became a problem. So now you have the articulation of the fingers for more posability, and you also have a firm grip on the weapon. So this is a brilliant, brilliant toy. This is one of the best Optimus Prime figures I've ever had. This is so cool. I love it so much. And the articulation is like so on point. You see how like the hips actually move there? It's like, it's just so posable. This is fantastic. And it looks exactly like you think of how a classic Optimus Prime should look. If you were a fan of the 1980s cartoon of the Transformers, like that's how you remember him. That's what Optimus Prime is supposed to look like, exactly. You know, if anything, they put more detail onto him, and that makes him even better. So it's like, this is the Optimus Prime toy I always wanted. This is I can't say enough nice things about this toy. This is fantastic. If they make a Megatron like this, I'm gonna get it. If they make a Starscream like this, I'm gonna get it. If they make a I just want them all now because it's so cool. There are one thing. One thing could have made this a better toy, and only one thing that I can think of, and that's if he had to come with an Energon axe. So, like, maybe at some point they might re-release this and give him an Energon axe. And if they did, I would actually buy the whole thing all over again. Like, I got this, like I said, for less than 50% of the retail price, and I got a bargain because I would have been grateful to get this for $50. If I paid $50 for this thing and got it out, I would have thought that was a bargain. But I got it for $20. How crazy is that? So anyway, yeah, we'll set him right there for now. You can still kind of see him a little bit. There he is in the corner. I want to look at the box. All right, and it's the Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. Optimus Prime. That's what that is. So, highly recommend this. Very good toy. If you're into Transformers at all, this is the one to get. If you're only going to get one Transformer toy, get this one. He's brilliant. Alright, so this is a much longer video than usual, but of course there was a lot more to it, because I had to show you all the transforming and everything. And we figured it all out on our own. We were smart. We don't need no instructions. This is for weaklings. So, you know, Optimus Prime doesn't need instructions. He just transforms on his own. You never saw that on the show where it's like, alright, Autobots, let's transform and roll out. Let's look at the instructions first so we can figure out. No, we don't do that. We don't play that game. We just transform our robots. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.